Time to check in with Regina International Airport, and the CEO is James Bogusz. He's in studio with us this morning. Of course, the big topic is always tariffs, and that is impacting your business as well.
Wow, what a shift from where we were a few months ago, especially with flights that would be called trans-border. So basically flights originating from Regina and going directly to the U.S. We've been talking with WestJet Airlines and, of course, talking with Air Canada and watching the news, and we're seeing a reduced demand. What WestJet's been telling us, a reduced demand for flights going down south. So certainly concerning, especially given that we're on the precipice of a brand new flight with United Airlines that begins in May.
Which you've worked a very long time on.
Almost 10 years since we've had a U.S. carrier in our market. And this was the #1 demand that our public had of us, was to try to restore a daily transporter flight to a major U.S. hub with an American carrier. And you'll remember last year, we launched service with WestJet, shared with Delta, going to Minneapolis-St. Paul. And the new service coming with United is going to be a 50-seat regional jet going to one of the largest airports in the United States. Lots of connections in the U.S., but don't forget, also connections overseas. Places like London, you can go to Germany, you can even go to Rome on a one-stop. So pretty impressive place.
Yeah, there are very few places you can go in Regina direct to another country. You always have to stop somewhere. You have to go through somewhere.
That's right.
But your volume, I looked at your volume numbers for February. They look pretty good.
Yeah, they sure were. You know, surprisingly, given the sentiment that's out there, we actually saw an increase of about 2,500 more passengers going to the United States in February. That's back and forth, by the way, than we did the year before. But there's a story to that. Last year, the same time, we wouldn't have had the Minneapolis flight. We also have to keep in mind that last year, the same time, the airport was just slower generally in terms of its recovery.
Right.
So it's really going forward. So we're talking about the March numbers, which I won't have till April, and looking at April and May, that the concerns are really there. So we're watching that very closely. If
somebody out there is watching and they said, no, I'm not going to Denver, I'm not going to Minneapolis, I want to go to Montreal, Toronto, what's the domestic flight situation look like? Because you know me, my pet peeve has always been the cost of domestic travel.
Well, first and foremost, if the viewers are not currently signed up, you got to go to WestJet's website, you got to go to Air Canada's website, get on their mailing list. They have been putting out promotion after promotion after promotion for Canadian service. Great deals to places like Toronto.
Especially if you don't want to take a bag.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, those ultra basic fares have been unbelievable. But Toronto, Vancouver, Edmonton, Winnipeg, we even have the return of Montreal 3 days a week. It's going to be shared with Saskatoon this year. We also have the return of Kelowna. So lots of opportunity to see your own country at very affordable prices, but you got to sign up for those mailing lists.
We talked yesterday about City Hall and the airport vicinity plan. Is it your stance that you don't want homes too close because of the noise and disruption and everything else? You
can see a pattern virtually anywhere that has an airport. You want to minimize the types of residential uses near an airport only. You used to be on the outskirts of town. We used to be, but what happens over time is things develop, and we love our city. But we want to see things like industrial and commercial uses near the airport itself, and lots of homes to be built, just not at the end of the runway and not right by the airport itself.
Do you think the message was received?
Not only was it received, but it was supported by council, and we very much appreciate the vote yesterday. And it just really goes to show the importance of balancing these interests, still having lots of development, just making sure it's the appropriate development right near the airport border itself.
James, we'll do this again real soon. YQR.ca is your go-to source for everything to do with his fine organization.